Yeah, I'm not gonna screw.
All right, folks, are we back? Do we have Mikal ++ on the microphone yet?
Are we back? Mikal ++, get back at that plus.
Hello.
Man, come on, get it together.
It's great because you've been able to hear me this entire time.
Yeah, I know, and now people are really, really concerned for my mental health, as if it wasn't bad enough.
Well, we'll see what we
Okay, the reports are yes.
Awesome. Well, good.
I knew there was a person I was talking to. God,
yeah,
now
yeah, you guys missed my awesome little map intro. I was talking about all this stuff.
All right, you know what? I'll vouch for him. It was phenomenal. Of all the map intros that have ever been map introed, this was the map introist.
Right, so basically you guys get the 30-second shitty version. There's several yards, several strokes. It's a payload map. You push your cart up the hill, and whoever does it faster wins.
Yeah,
so,
you know, if you really want a map run through, go to our previous season's UGC Swiftwater. We take a lot of time doing that because that's when we were waiting for teams to join up and stuff. We had a lot of time to kill. So, yards, LA River, Crack House.
Oh right, right. That was we named it the freaking Crack. I had a joke. Oh man.
And so now people are like, dirty man. What is up with this dude?
Dude, this man. Top-notch quality cast as always, folks.
Expect nothing else from Mikal and Hexagrams. Only the finest here.
Oh man, so yeah, we're still waiting on teams to get ready. It looks like they have 8 players out of 9.
I wonder if they heard your music or it was just silence and me speaking. God.
Well, yeah, no. Again, just to kind of, it is completely my fault. I had Skype set up to recognize the microphone, but not Windows. So XSplit was looking at a different audio device, saying, "Hey, who's talking here? Nobody."
Yeah, the reports are still very low. I can hear you. So if you want to amp up that volume, maybe swallow your microphone. I don't know. Whatever it is.
See what I can't come up with here.
It's just amazing that you always have audio issues, and I have like a $3 headset, and I'm usually fine.
Yeah, tell me about it. Good shit. Good shit.
Well, anyway, there's the cart. It goes over this little bridge over the LA River. Adjacent to the LA River is the Crack House. You wind up this bend. Unholdable point. This house doesn't really get used on the left that much. You go over this bridge, which is the first point. The fighting doesn't really happen all that much over here. It goes to this next yard. You go through the caves. Caves can be held pretty easily by an engineer, but a lot of times we don't see an engineer set up there because there's just not enough time to get your setup going again. Once you exit the caves, though, we see this point being held a lot. It's that upper ground to the right, where that big pack is and the big ammo pack. You'll see a sentry up there get wrangled, and you go down. You got these milky things. This ends up being just hellfire because the spawns change. The giant yard up the hill is really tough to take, and then my favorite feature of the map is the pit. The pit at the end. I want to see people die in a pit. How's that audio?
Well, now you're just working out some technical issues, folks.
You need that screen, man. You need the Uncle Barbecue technical difficulty screen.
Only the finest high-tech ghetto rigging headset modifications last minute, folks.
I imagine your headset, like microphone setup, because I know you have really good headphones.
Right.
It's just sitting out. Is it like on a coat hanger around your neck?
Yeah, basically, I've got a magnet and a wire wrapped together. And that's basically what I'm rocking for a microphone right now. So,
all right, well,
all right,
hopefully people can hear you.
Here's hoping now, because it is.
Oh man, good thing we didn't queue this. Like, have it ready to go right when we need to go. Glad we had some time to spare here.
That would have been disastrous.
Anyway, like I was saying before, if you guys still need to run through, we did this map last season. Just check out the VOD. It's a good match too. I do remember it being a fun match to watch because. It was the first time we did UGC Swiftwater because, as the title suggests, it was specifically redesigned with UGC in mind.
Yeah, a lot of the changes they did made have I guess, really benefited the map, especially now that teams have adopted the second season. And we've seen the way they've kind of changed. Some of the, I guess, the sentry spots I've seen, some of the scrims and practices have been very, very interesting. So, a lot of variance.
They did script a lot last year. A lot of people just came into it blind a little bit, and you saw that on disparities between the teams. There was rolls left and right, and very few close matches because it's just who scrimmed it more, who was more prepared for it.
Look at that soldier. He's found a sneaky spot. Oh, I heard one ready click. But
yeah,
wow. That blue soldier.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go.
There it is. Alright, so we are live now with a full minute of setup, so hope everyone's ready, because they gotta wait a minute.
My body is ready. And by that I mean my, like, 2 fingers on my left hand and my 1 small right wrist.
Now, Relic here opting, wow, Relic on Soldier. Sorry, I forgot to mention the big roster change there. So, yeah, that's kind of a big deal there. Relic on Soldier, wow,
yeah,
I'm definitely going to have to correct that and yell at my editing staff, which is, of course, myself and nobody else. But
is Relic one of those big-name soldiers? It's really hard for me to keep track of, man.
He's
So
definitely
many.
a big-name invite soldier.
Yeah, big-name invite soldier.
So we'll see how he does in the Highlander environment as he is debuting here. With his old buddy Pure backing him up, and of course lots of great Highlander names on the Gunrunner side. But bRb.U, a very seasoned team, been around for a long time. We'll see how they end up doing against them. So
We're gonna have to see it right now. Gates are open.
Opening, and there we go. Looks like you are just a little bit ahead of me there.
Should pause you up, bro.
Oh wow, Kritzkrieg, not an Uber charge, and Pure throwing out a lot of Siggies, not a lot of damage though. And Demo does go down on the blue side, but blue is importantly not stopped rolling the cart forward, so even though they are kind of hemorrhaging players, it has now stopped right over the LA River, and Relic jumps in.
The problem with the river, too, is once you get in, if you're not a jumping class, there's no escape.
Yeah,
you gotta
that's
walk
where
all the
you're
way
at.
through that muck.
Right,
Now,
so
Rick did lose their medic in that engagement,
yes.
but Blue lost theirs soon after.
Right, and let's see his Steel Python. I'm trying to get a camera on him real quick. He has moved back over to his regular Medigun. So that is the end of the Kritzkrieg shenanigans. It is much easier and better to hold with the Uber charge, but still very, very interesting tactic there.
Yeah.
But
And
right now,
again,
as
they're doing the smart thing. You leave the little kids to push the cart, big kids push forward.
right, and yeah, right now, heavy medic Demo kind of holding this very, very far forward for bRb.U. So lots of really, really aggressive play so far, as they did push right out into that yard after they kind of reassembled their team, and now they're already in control of the caves. Now, caves is no longer a place where teams have decided they want to contest. It's a lot harder to get your reinforcements there. It's a lot, there's not a lot of good sentry spots. Instead, we're seeing right here is kind of the new. Oh, as we're looking at the spy come in, gets a sap on the gun. Engineer very quick to turn around. And
Blue had used one of this short circuit. I dig it.
Yeah, very, very clever there. And the spy goes down with the engineer. KKS does leave his gun all completely alone, as the cart is now going forward, and the Uber charge goes off.
Yeah, they come in right under the gun, get it down pretty quick with some stickies, flashes it around between the Demo and Heavy, and they're going to push Red way back here. Soldier up top lurking, though. Pyro up top lurking as well.
Yeah, lots of, wow, great shot there out of Relic. Picking a scout down off the roof.
Yeah.
But blue players have taken the yard, and they are going to go ahead and roll through this point, and very quickly at that. Looks like right now the time, let's see, yeah, 2:19, just over 2 minutes.
We mentioned this last time we did this map. This map's so much about how you fall back, because you're going to lose points. It's just how do you know where to fall back, when to fall back.
Fixer
you see
on the card.
level corner of the roof right now.
Right, doing a little bit of work, but yeah, this point, again, very, very, very much one of the best places you can put time on the cart. Before the cart gets here, really, there's a lot of big open spaces. So right here is one of, I guess, the first big tight chokes you can get your hands on. As the engineer making use of the Eureka effect there to get back to that 200 metal at spawn, might not actually be quicker than just walking over and picking up this 200 metal. So
You got back there pretty quick though. So I don't know. I don't know how long the effect takes. Someone would have to do the math on that.
Right.
We all know my proclivity with numbers is very low.
good spamming out of both Relic and Pure here, as they are clearing out the upper areas. And Pyro's staying up here too, making sure that no blue players get in here and kind of take over this little back route into their base. Meanwhile, the choke is pretty heavily guarded, and the sentry gun is
level 3. Yeah, it's a tough point. Like, they do have this house they can push in through, all these little windows, they can push through the corners, but it's just so clumped up that a sentry can hit almost everywhere. They're throwing pills at it over the top. One lands directly, and it goes down after some heavy fire takes it down, too.
Right, and Blue has managed to secure this little inner house here, part of the west wing of the complex that will later become their spawn point. They have a medic in here with almost a full uber charge, but right now still Python is sitting on a full uber charge. Embryo goes in, tries to make him pop, but there's nothing really to pop, so he just sort of dies. But yeah, they seem to think he's got the uber because they are putting a lot of pressure on him now.
Right. My favorite part about this point is, like, if blue can get it to the point but not past it, it just becomes this big force of pushing forward out of spawn into an established point. It becomes a bloodbath.
Yeah. But yeah, great job by Red keeping their sentry up in spite of the uber, and
a blue uber went off inside the house. I think it was a desperation uber.
Yeah,
they didn't push out with it at all.
Yeah, they didn't really have anyone backing up, and right now the red uber goes off, trapping him in the corner. Keeping
That's
invulnerable.
me in the corner.
Whoa! Sorry, a little through the wall action there. Medic does go down in that little tussle, and the cart has not moved forward barely at all. They have managed to keep it from going backwards, probably via spies and just suicides, but
that was kind of a cute way to say tussle. It's like a 3-year-old. Little tuffle. Little tuffle with my baba.
Yeah, right. So Demo putting some stickies in the direction of the sentry, but not a lot of follow-up there. So yeah, great job out of the gunrunners here, putting a lot of extra time on this cart now. It's been easily 2 minutes now as they've kind of got a...
It's a great hold. They really stabilized it. Those first 2 points went really quick. They kind of just got rocked, but this seems to be the point that they like holding.
Right, and I want to really point out their positioning here. They are in and out of this complex. They are just staying really proactive and really aggressive with all of their players, keeping these little kind of tight, choky areas out of the red team's control. You know, they're out of the blue team's control, rather.
Yeah, I wonder if red has an exit set up somewhere. Of course, they're not going to have an entrance, but if you lose this point, your spawns change.
Right.
So having an exit up right away might allow you to reinforce and still hold it a little bit. Of course, it's an afterthought, but you know, just something. He's got all the metal. It's fully stocked, level 3 over here. So.
Right. Once more, Scout going up and touching the cart ever so gently, just to make it inch forward, stop the backwards momentum. That way, when they do get the push mounted and ready to go, you know, the cart's just right there. Doesn't have very, very long to go, but I tell you, these last, 6 meters or whatever are just the hardest to get the cart in.
Yeah, it's a brutal point. It's so choky. But the gun does go down with the assist of an Uber and a sniper finishing it off. Yeah, Red pops the Uber. Oh, nice headshot on Steel Python by XB! And the spy comes in and saps that dispenser. How huge is that dispenser? And then Heck takes down Napalm.
Yeah, Pure deserved to die there. I mean, if that spy had not choked on that, if it was a different game that wasn't TF2 with their hit registration, that spy backstab totally would have counted, and Pure would be dead right now. So it's a good thing.
Backstab, 50% chance of backstab.
Oh, great way to word it. And yeah, blue now very, very much in control of the complex, which will soon be their spawn, as they are going to get to this point. Probably very quickly, I'm guessing, but, again, red has actually, they're committing to this defense. Oh, heavy, oh no, it's a sniper that went down, excuse me, takes a lot of spam.
Yeah, bRb had a pretty nice opportunity where they had the gun down, then they killed a medic, and they killed a sniper, but they were just pushed so far back that they didn't have a chance to get out of the cart. Scout coming in to finesse the, well, that's an NG actually, coming in to finesse the cart forward. Couple shotguns killed out, it's back.
There's still no suit up. K-Chaos looks like he's gone ahead and fallen back and built his level 3 somewhere. Probably just going to guess it's around the corner after this Uber goes in, but...
Oh, they're killing a lot of people.
Yeah, they're going to get this
down.
here.
They're going to have to concede this point. They're just trying to get the last kills they can.
Yeah, with Steel Python being down, yeah, that was where it really went. So let's see where the engineer decided to set up.
Yeah,
wow,
it's got this
pretty far...
Yeah,
pretty far
but
back.
It's a good spot. It's hard to spam out.
That's
and
true.
It's hard to get headshot as an engineer because there's only this one little sight line and you're ducking below this ridge behind your sentry too. It's an interesting spot. It's not the typical spot.
Wow, but blue did not move the cart at all during that little interlude while we were talking about the sentry gun. I was expecting to see the blue cart at the top of the hill, but they have one soldier on it just now. What was their team doing, I wonder?
They weren't pushing forward to get kills. I'm not sure.
Right. So red has a pretty good close down, and actually that wrangled spot.
Yeah,
looks
that's
like
why
he's got a little sweet spot on it. Yeah,
there's not much area to hit it with. You really have to dedicate Uber to taking that gun down.
Right, heavy just mowing players down.
And this hill is just hell for some teams. It's one of those points in the map where you really have to ride your momentum of the previous point to try to get as far as you can, because the hill is brutal, and then once you get it out in the yard with this wide open space, it's anyone's deathmatch game.
Right. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't this hill here used to have the little yellow stripies that made it roll backwards? I could be wrong.
I can't recall. I'm pretty sure in the UGC version it has not had them.
I don't know. There's been so many versions of this map. So
yeah, I remember talking our favorite releases, and I'm like, I liked 18. You're like, I was at
14. Yeah, 14 was really good.
Well, the Uber comes up for both sides. The Heavy trying to get some work done on the gun, but it gets wrangled and he gets blown away by the Ubered Pyro.
Right,
Good Ubered Pyro there.
Yeah, and the medic goes down. Steel Python manages to get out alive, but there are not a lot of red players alive, so we'll see if they can manage to hold this defense, and if they do, they're going to have a great Uber advantage, which is really, really going to put them, allow them to kind of push forward and, you know, take control of this yard again. But they've done a great job right now of kind of holding the high ground and not letting Blue really penetrate into their base.
Yeah, but this isn't a bad spot for Blue because now there's some cover. You can get guys on the cart. You see the Pyro on there pushing now. I mean, it's not a great spot, but it's better than being at the bottom of the hill.
Right. Relic has 7 hit points, trying to go big with the escape plan.
As
not
they say,
able to.
Shit does flow downhill.
Indeed.
Never be at the bottom of that hill.
So yeah, Pure throwing out a lot of random stickies around the map, but you know, just getting little DM picks here and there, and with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to go.
They want to consider popping this when they get it if they know their advantages, just because you can probably get the medic if you pop unawares, and Blue's making a decent push right now.
They go for it.
But they did not get the... Wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing, sorry.
Yeah, no, they did not get the medic. Yeah. He got out of there, so...
That's what you get for listening to my strategy. When will people learn?
He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
God. For the longest time, I thought I was playing Doom. But
still, it's all about posturing now, with Red being very, very assertive in their control of this yard. Blue not really able to push out of their garage here. And they do have an Uber charge, but Steel Python has managed to get all the way up to 75%. So as soon as this Uber is done, Steel Python's going to have his if he can manage to live, and they are not jumping after him. They did just sort of spread players around and not much else, really. Looks like all their support players went down in the scuffle.
In the scuffle?
Scuttle. The fisticuffs.
Well, maybe this is the ramp you're thinking of, because this one does have the yellow tracks.
Right. You know, there's a lot of ramps, there's a lot of tracks.
I don't think that regular hill had yellow tracks, because that'd just be impossible. That's just a cruel map design, then.
Yeah, well, you know, map designers are cruel people. Have you...
Oh, Fixer gets punched to death. A little domestic abuse happening up there.
Very nice. So yeah, right now, Embryo looks like he's doing a really good job this round, staying very active.
Yeah, one of the great things to watch on this map, too, is the sniper duels, because it really happens just in these one spots, just outside the fence. There's a really narrow sight line, all the way through to the large pack, and you'll see both snipers dancing in and out of that line trying to kill each other. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, that's great. Oh. Speaking of snipers now, Embryo gets in on him real close, and takes him down, and he's out of there. Good play there. Scout is one of the best classes for harassing and taking snipers down. They can really,
the way Embryo words his name, like with the exclamation point, it makes me read it like a New Yorker, like Embryo!
Hey, yo!
Hey, Embryo!
This mini-sentry, not long for this world, indeed, goes down very quickly. And yeah, Sniper, as soon as he gets his position called, Pure just drops pills all over him.
Oh, just some mortar fire, that was beautiful.
And wow, minute 18 left now. And this cart might not get to the next point, and that's a huge deal. Because, and Red dropped a player here. Looks like they're not pausing, though. They're just saying, fuck it.
Yeah. We'll do it live!
We don't need him. And I also got to point out, K-Chaos has moved his sentry up very long ago to this spot back here, hanging out, not doing anything. So they're holding this 2 players down, technically. But now, with the last 60 seconds, Blue is finally going to take advantage of that. Looks like they do get the push that they needed.
Spies on the cart trying to do something, but you know, the guys over there, and that's huge getting that point, because now at least make them capture it.
Right.
Looks like Fathom's getting back here.
Okay, well that will help having a pyro.
Yeah, generally. Pyro, yo.
with with Blue being in control of this yard now. They see they built the teleporter dispenser. And Mini Sentry, as kind of an afterthought, they do inch the cart forward, but right here, this is that last little 6 meters that is just really hellish a push in the map.
I mean, any place the sunlight touches, and then a little beyond, is just brutal.
Yeah.
And that pit of death, yes. As much as I enjoyed, I feel bad for the people who have to push it on this last.
Embryo tries to jump through the window, gets a sticky in the face.
Yeah, Soldier found a good spam spot through this window. The Wrangler responds.
Yep, very quick on it too. Real quick on the draw. Like his hat too. That's a nice. Is that the which hat is that?
It's the one with it's the press release.
Right,
I forgot.
right. Okay.
You had to have a magazine from Europe or something.
Right.
Look, I own a lot of magazines from Europe. None of them got me into hats.
That's true. Connoisseur, some might say.
Yeah,
and
well,
Red Uber on the cart.
How dare you? How dare you look down on my multicultural interests?
And with that Uber there, that's really gonna push BRU's Uber advantage very far ahead as Scar does get out of there. Fixer tries to get him, doesn't connect, and yeah, they're gonna have a big Uber advantage. So that's gonna be
Those got some sappers for good measure.
Right.
Yeah.
But
get
yeah,
out there.
That's a pretty good window for Blue to push in here, as they do have a really nice Uber advantage. A lot of players in the local area, and wow,
Red
Heavy
has
goes
to
down
stay
there. That's
they have to stay down there, otherwise you can get a scout leaping in there, bonking
yeah.
it, and then spy coming to catch it.
Oh wow!
Nice.
That was a great play by the medic there. He takes his Uber charge off instinctually because they think that, you know, obviously he's not going to waste an Uber, and he just takes a fucking point. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant move there.
You curse like a sailor. You need Jesus, son.
That's why we put the warning up at the beginning of the cast.
The warning courtesy of Kip.
Yeah,
if you guys like
Kip.
that voice, which a lot of you have made really weird comments about, check out her cast. All voice all the time.
Indeed.
Although not as distinct as our opening, of course.
So let's take a look now as Negate on the defensive side puts a sentry up in a spot that I like a lot. It's kind of one of the things I was telling my team when we were playing this map. This ramp here, pretty important. You know, once you lose the ramp, that's kind of the signal to get the hell out of there. So, you know, watch your ramp. That's gonna let his medic stay out here pretty comfortably without having a demo soldier whoever jump in. And
the big difference in NG play between Highlander and pubs, I don't know how many people play at Highlander or play pubs. And generally in pubs, you see this cave spot being used a lot. And while it's good to hold like a large number of people, it doesn't have any coverage all over the place. In Highlander, you see sentry guns put in optimal position to cover so much ground.
oh man, XV doing work right out of the gate as Chaos drops the sentry and then drops to the ground. Body shot. That's the end of his life. And but still Blue inching the cart forward, coming up to the LA River. But they have 15 minutes to get all 5 points. That's a really long time.
I don't think I've seen pipes quite used like this on both sides recently, just launching mortars.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen them used like that, but it's been the primary usage of these pipes. It's like a fireworks display.
Yeah, spam pills get kills, son. Wow,
Kind
Chaos.
of makes me want to live in a war zone so I get the free entertainment.
Chaos trying to get in there really deep on a sentry gun. Does not manage to take it down with a shotgun, surprisingly, but it does eventually go down to some kind of spam. As Pure is now on the cart.
Spy coming in. Oh, he misses 2 stabs. Misses the medic. Tries to go for the consolation pick on the sniper. Gets peed on. Gets lit on fire. And that is just a bad day.
You know, it's a bad day for you, but that sounds like a great day for the spy. Sounds like he's getting everything he wants.
Yeah, some people pay for that.
Right?
I've seen in my European magazines.
So Embryo now hanging out there with the rest of his team, kind of pushing forward a little bit. Waiting for the gate
they got
to open.
the sitting on the cart instead of pushing forward. A little bit odd, but I think what they're going to do is push this door as soon as it opens.
That's what it looks like, and that's a really smart idea. They get the scout.
Heavy gets up there with its little fast gloves anyway, so no time lost.
Right.
They're all up there right now.
Skill Python pushing his team in with the Uber charge now.
Here comes in, it splits up on the demo and on the soldier and the heavy. Did they lose their demo somewhere in there? Oh, he got reflected on.
Yep, and that Wrangler is just disastrous because...
So Pure trying to come in, I imagine that's where the Uber would have gone, but he got a rocket reflected back at him, so Pure getting killed by his teammate Relic shooting rockets carelessly at Fathom. Wait,
Yeah.
no, not sorry. Ah, man, I'm messing up my name tonight. I want to give him credit. Caffeine.
Yes.
Caffeine with a
Red
great
Pyro.
negated that entire push because that demo had to go down. It's hard to take down sentries with a heavy and a soldier. Good play on Caffeine. Just wanted to make sure I got his name correct. That was wonderful. See, I can even praise Air Blast once in a while. I really have to.
So right now, Relic trying to poke in a little bit from the upper deck, but nobody else there for the blue team, and looks like Blue's kind of at a loss for where they want to push out from here, because they don't have anyone in the cards. So let's
Red's got
take a look.
There's, you know,
Hanging out, yeah.
pretty much.
Right, did blue team all disconnect, or... Oh, there.
I've
There they
got
are,
that-
going through the cards, the caves, rather, right now, as Cure leads the charge, as the demo man. Got a little engineer pyro backing him up.
See the best way. You gotta wait for the Uber, then pop out right under the
Oh,
gun.
spy on the cart. Gets spotted out very early. Gets away, dead ringer. Nice little invincibility button. Still has a P, but, you know, it happens. Worse things have happened to the spy.
Yeah, I mean, he was born in France. It's already not able to have freedom prize.
Ooh, good Uber saving the demo man. Popping on the pyro now. And they manage to flash and get the heavy, so now the medic is caught out all alone.
All alone.
Oh, what a sad story, that poor medic's life. And oh, Spy comes in though.
Sentry Gun's still up though. Yeah. Sentry Gun's still doing work. He's got far enough back that it's really hard to shell with just random demo spam.
Yeah, you really have to snipe it before you can get the gun down. That's really all there is to it. You have to get napalm to get in there and just do something, because yeah, this is not going to die of natural causes. That's for damn sure.
Well, generally machines don't, unless you consider like battery loss a natural cause. I guess it is.
Rust.
You know? Rust never sleeps. Did you know that?
I'm sure you're referencing something that I'm just too lowbrow to get there.
No, don't worry about it. It's like a 10-year-old Space Ghost episode.
Oh, got it.
One person will see this 5 years from now and be like, "That's my soulmate. Come find me and stab me in my sleep."
So Blue again insisting on pushing out from these cliffs here, just straight onto the cart, and doesn't go well for them as the heavy trying to charge out there gets backstepped immediately, and now the pyro single-handedly manages to push the entire team back as they're all caught on fire.
But Soldier doing work by himself, pushes the cart forward.
Cart does go down, and right now 10:35 left in the round, so that is a much slower first 2 points out of Gunrunners. So despite the new invite player pickup, not really helping the time so far as bRb.
You know, but it doesn't matter if they can finish last. Well, never mind.
Exactly. It is a game of time. And another level. Oh, he moved his level 3 back. What a jerk! Oh, that thing is. Yeah, he's. Oh well.
See, this is that momentum point. This is where Gunrunners held the team last time, but they've been pushing it all the way through.
That's
a good wipe. They're going to get through this little death valley rather quickly. The sentry's going up behind.
But it's
getting jumped by the mini. It's going to get down by the mini.
Great job
that makes
there.
Me happy. Like, as a little brother growing up, when I was finally able to like take a fight, that's what that reminded me of. Go mini.
Go mini. So yeah, red players trying very hard, as they did have the positioning behind the blue team to get on a mounted defense, but they just aren't able to put one together, and blue is now really in control of this yard.
It is wiped. They should consider falling all the way back. They're not going to get a stable position up front. They're all coming up now, and I think that's going to be what we see. The setup is coming out from the NG. They're all falling to last. They have no other choice.
Ooh, good pop, saving the life of the heavy there. Spy did try to backstab him. Medic said nope. And yeah, red team looks like they're reluctant to even push out of their spawn here. And poor level 1 is already getting spanned by a demo man.
It's gonna, well...
Ooh, I don't know, yeah. Oh, yeah, Spy comes in and gets it, but... looks like XB and Joker kind of work together to finish off Pure as he does spam uphill a little bit too close. But now with 8:51 left to get the last point,
well, here's the saving.
Has all the time in the world.
Yeah, it's going to have some local numbers. They're going to have Uber advantage at least, so they're not going to get pushed in on without being unprepared. There is a possibility they're able to salvage this. I mean, it's a hard point to push. You can theoretically hold this point for 8 minutes.
Theoretically, but ooh, Relic goes down. Yeah, gets the Girardi, gets the Pepe, and the level 1, and that's the end of it there. So yeah, this cart not looking happy about Now where it's sitting there, being overlooked, being watched very carefully. Ooh, desperation Uber, I guess. Kind of pop it, don't drop it. Medic got the good comms there, and looks like actually blue team got the better end of that Uber. As the red engineer is gonna pick up his gun, move it out, and that's probably gonna be the end of the gun. Yeah. And that's also the end of the cart. Wow, blue team pushed it in right there.
Look at that engineer top board, and way to go, Chaos. That's got to make your little engineer heart swell, doesn't it?
Yeah, we should send out one of them invites to that little, what do we call the end? I don't know, you like to make fun of it.
QED.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Like, yo, whatever. So teams are now switching sides as we are going to go into halftime, so we'll be right back after a quick little 30-second commercial break with the halftime analysis. Okay. It's on commercial.
Yeah, give me a second, I'll be right back.
That was delicious.
Alright folks, we are back, and Hexagrams is doing something with his mic, rubbing it against his chest, building up static electricity, said something about a science experiment. You back?
Yeah, I was just finishing up that, balloon experiment I was
There we
doing.
go. Well, it sounded great.
You know what I just realized about the cast? The first words of this cast now are, and Hexagrams! So thanks for that.
Well, technically it's going to be, and we're back, because that's what I said when I got back, because they're going to be separated by a little 30-second, or we disconnected, reconnected the stream to reset the audio device, but, it's okay. We'll just tag that up as a little monologue video.
Yeah, great.
Greatness.
My hard work.
So, yeah, I'd have to eat my words there out of what I was saying about gun runners with their first push there. After they went ahead and took that second point, and it took so long to, they just really rolled into the third. And like you said, they ate all that time back up, and the round was kind of over. Like, they'd you could really tell bRb.U never really got their defense back up. Like, they were really deflated at that point. They had really bad positioning. They were behind the team. They were trying to do really sneaky things, and it didn't pan out for them. So
this map is a retreat map. You have to know your retreats to get set up again. We have seen it time and time again on UGC Swiftwater. And by time and time again, I mean twice.
Twice, yeah.
But yeah, well, it's time and then time again.
Okay, I'll give it to you. You got it.
Technically.
Technically correct.
Yeah.
Hex wins again by default. Best two words in the English language.
Two sweetest words of the English language. Default. No, but it's all about knowing when to retreat and getting set up again, because we saw that, Gunrunners did a really good job of getting their setup through this little, I don't know what this processing plant is. These three pylons. It's three
silos. They used to be silos. They used to be way more definitively silos. I mean, they're still technically silos, but
what do you think is in there? I don't know why I just keep wanting to say there's milk in there.
Milk at Swiftwater? No way. There's got to be. These are septic tanks, dude. they're doing something. That's poop. That's poop
what?
In there.
they don't drink milk in LA.
Oh, no, dude. Look at the one on the right. Okay, if you're approaching it like you're pushing the cart, look at the one on the right. It's got this brown stain on it. That's totally poop in there.
Okay.
That's.
But anyway, they set up here rather well and held this for a long time. That turned out to be maybe not the difference, but a big difference.
Yeah, big critical one for sure.
Yeah, we didn't see a heavy grew jump out of there though, because that's a brutal position. We saw that in our previous match. Heavy grew jumps on top of the sewage tanks.
You can get just about anyone up there, and this is a real pain in the ass. I really like Relic's position, just kind of running back and forth through here is in these the complex through the David Koresh compound.
Oh, you're Texas through and through, aren't you?
Yeah, the Branch Davidian complex.
Yeah. You're dating. You know what's so sad right now is you're dating yourself because there's like so many.
Yeah, so many little kids are like googling, like, what happened there? Well, kids, the ATF used to not be a thing that was. And then they had a budget meeting. There's a conspiracy, and they wanted to take our guns, and so we had to defend them. And a bunch of people died.
I feel bad because they didn't get a chance to follow the Lamb of God to the only true light. But you know, I guess you have a different spin on it. Jeez.
Oh man, I forgot to point this out in the first spawn, the little Swiftwater plan. Oh, the victory. It's great little thing, little details like this that really make a map great. You can talk about geometry and frame rate not being shit. You know, if it's like a snowy map or whatever, that doesn't matter. It's funny shit like this in the background. Yeah. That's something metric I use for a good map. I think that's actually why this made it into the UGC roster.
Yeah, no one's gonna remember playability or, you know, vantage points or y-axis. It's pretty much about little trinkets.
That's nerd shit. That's boring.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So it sounds like we have teams readied up now for the second half.
Second half, here we come, and of course, Gunrunner's up.
Yeah, with the 1-0. Yeah, and real quick explanation of the scoring method, the way this works. It is a best 2 out of 3, and to get your point, it's whichever team does the offense faster. 8-Ball coming in really early with a suicide for his engineer. Good move there. Love to see that teamwork.
Love to see that suicides, right?
Yeah, but so yeah, right now because Gunrunners did capture all 5 points significantly quicker than bRb.U, and it doesn't have to be significantly. It can be 1 second quicker, and you win. It's like Vin Diesel says, it doesn't matter if it was by a meter or a mile. Victories of wins. I don't know the quote. I'm sorry, Vin.
No, I'm actually proud that you don't know that quote. I was really hoping you weren't going to finish that. I'm so proud right now. Oh, man, tears shed. No. I was just thinking where you were explaining the scoring thing. It is called stopwatch. When was the last time you saw a stopwatch in real life? Like, that wasn't hanging from a high school gym teacher's neck.
Yeah, I actually had to use a stopwatch. I just went online and got a little app for my phone. And
right, exactly.
It can tell time.
Our world's becoming intangible and insustainable at the same time. Anyway, here's Highlander action on TF2. Right. Who comes out blazing.
And yeah, already to the LA River. Looks like they've got this first point down with their offense. They've got a plan, but not much you can do about your
good kills. But XB comes out huge with 1 pick, and then the pick takes down Steel Python.
Yeah, just about to say, not much you can do with a medic down. So
Spy sapping up the gun. Perfect sap timing. Spy and Heavy working together. He saps it. Heavy turns the corner, guns it down. Of course, Spy gives up his life, but you know, it's just how it goes sometimes.
Yep, and Gunrunner's now firmly in control of the yard as they have the car moving forward at 2x, not quite as fast as 3x, but more importantly, look at where the defensive line is going to be. Oh wow, as Pure goes down to a scout, but Embryo is going to come in, get revenge.
Revenge.
And yeah, red team opting not to defend at all in the K's. Just pulling all the way out, getting the engineer right back in his little sweet spot.
Blue being super aggressive, pushing all the way through the caves before they even have that first point, and then, you know, 8-Ball peeks out, doesn't know the soldiers behind him, and that's the end of 8-Ball.
Absolutely. Get back in that ND drift again.
I think of 8-Ball, I don't think of billiards, I think of like a white kid in high school with a mech tattoo.
Right? Some really seedy character who wants to know if you've ever tried heroin. Maybe you know where you can score some oxy, you know? Yeah, Pyro doing a really good job reflecting rockets, but Spy comes in, gets a backstab on the engineer, and doesn't quite get the sap, but even still the soldier...
bRb just wiped again. They're only 3 up. The sentry gun's up, but for how long?
Up, it's down.
Not very long at all.
Yeah, the soldier relic just came in.
Desperation Uber. It's actually not a desperation Uber. They're very well ahead in the Uber, so it's not really going to hurt them. Maybe get some kills out of it.
But yeah, they stayed way too long in that. Like, the medic really was in the middle of the fray as his Uber went down.
You know, it's fine to pop it there and try to get some kills, but you can't die as the medic there. Right. You got to get out.
Got it. And like you're saying, it's a retreat map. They really had to pull out a retreat there. Right now, they don't have any defense, and Gunrunners are really going to be able to push in this yard very quickly. As Fixer...
And then Fixer takes it right down.
Right, Pyro comes in full of impotent rage with his home wrecker out. Yep.
The dispenser.
Saves the dispenser and nothing Nothing good happens there.
Kills the dispenser.
Heavy going down, just a little bit off camera there.
It does seem like they're holding the cart right now.
Yeah, they've actually stabilized, even though Blue has the, they now have player advantage, most of those split spawns, and they do have the Uber advantage. They just have no local presence to speak of.
I think Blue probably just got their 4 teleporters set up, which is why they weren't able to push that all the way through. They lost some numbers and weren't able to reinforce quick enough.
Alright, 8-Ball goes down to the Uber charge, though, as it looks like they did get their local presence that they finally needed. And they just go ahead and push through the next yard. The Medic and the Pyro. Medic does go down, no more Steel Python.
That's... Yeah, Joker gets the kill there.
And yeah, Gunrunners often do ignore the sentry.
Oh, why did the Pyro come off it? They can edge this forward and then change spawns, and that's exactly what they do.
Yeah. And yeah, Pyro there, team there, just kind of ignored the sentry though, just focused really hard on the cart, and they did manage to get it through there. So right now, 3:27, incredibly fast time for the first 3 points.
Cruising through. This is the Swiftwater Express train right now.
Yeah, they have 10 minutes left in the just regular map timer. That's an incredible amount of time to just sort of dick off. They could switch over to Quick Fix, run 3 Ubers, fail all of them, and still have time to push it to the end.
I mean, you still want to set a good time.
Right.
That's, you know.
But,
they need to set the time here on offense. They're not, you know, trying to beat a time.
Yeah, Red's positioning here, though, really good, really aggressive as the spy moves in. And the, I love the sentry placement right here. This, you can see everything from up here with the Ranger. It's such a pain in the ass, especially for the engineer.
The only problem with it is you're really susceptible to snipers.
But in order to be sniped, if you look where Negate's standing, he's not up there with it. He's hanging out below it, so the sniper has to point at a really crappy angle in order to get it.
That's a great move. I mean, you're just going to run out of ammo. I mean, he gets up there quick enough. There's not a great path to get up there. It takes a little bit. But
your rocket jump. If you're pro, your rocket jump. See, and if we see him doing that, he will get an invite to QED, folks.
QED.
It's so elite, we don't even, like, really exist. There's, like, 4 people. Nobody wears a tag.
You have no idea how many groups I'm in that I don't even tag up. This is just, like, I don't want to be bombarded with...
Look at that Uber pair. Oh, and they just go ahead and let the Uber in. Close the garage, folks.
Ah, sorry. Uber's going off.
Yeah, that was, they just sort of hugged it out there. Nothing really happened. But that was really scary there for a moment as, Pure did fully get into the garage, and you know, as you know, Pure 8-Ball rather did fully get into the garage. And was almost able to, you know, hit the whole team there with sticky bombs. Instead, they backed up.
Jaeger bombs.
And right now, it looks like bRb.U has done a really good job of kind of deflating Gunrunner's momentum here.
Yeah, they needed to.
Yeah. And right now, Ubers are even too.
They haven't had a perfect, really strong hold at any point, but they had a good hold at 3. They're having a good hold at 4 now. If they can string these together like this, you could really end up putting some time on that card.
Engineer with the mini manages to distract, lets the backstab go down for the spy, forces the Uber, and then blue team comes in. Gunrunners get a much later Uber charge, and that heavy is just dominating right now, taking out everyone near the point.
Fixer's been doing work quietly behind the scenes. As a spy, you get no recognition. I see a Fixer.
Popping up here and there. So yeah, 6-14 with the first 4 points captured now, and just the last one to go. Let's go ahead and see right now, only a level 1 just now finishing being built too on the red side, so not a very strong defensive position yet. But they are doing a really strong forward hold here on this, I guess, we'll call this one the house, the upper house. The bridgeway, the causeway, the whatever. They got their players up there, and that's a good place to keep them because there's not a lot of other entry into the base.
Okay, so again, Red has Uber advantage. They're not going to get Ubered in on, so theoretically, they could hold this for 9.5 minutes.
It's very possible. Heavy pokes out now, very dangerous when you know that there is always going to be a sniper there looking for you.
Fixer stabs XB and gets rocketed right in the face. When you get killed as a spy by a sentry gun, you're the only person to ever get killed by a sentry gun on top of a sentry gun. It's so frightening to see a machine just stare you down.
Right, and now the card has moved forward enough to open our favorite death pit. Engineer opts to, again, ignore the sentry and walk in front of its fire. Good. Good positioning there. And yeah, Gunrunners really want to get this card in, but it's just not quite fitting yet. But they've got a great time on the map. They've got
Right,
4
you know,
points.
here's the thing, Python used his Uber, Scar's still holding his, so they've got the ability to hold this, but they're just not doing stuff. The Uber finally comes off to save it.
Yeah.
They were just letting people walk in.
And they got the medic there. Steel Python goes in. That's enormously big.
Yeah.
If they can,
Strap their own medic. He was going for an Uber saw.
Fixer going huge there at the end. Gets that backstab. He's acting like he's stopping the car from being forward. Great job there out of Fixer. Manages to really, really put it away for his team there.
Quite the act of espionage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you caught yourself, didn't you?
I did. I caught myself today.
You've been better about it. Even better.
A little bit. I think Steel Python. Let's see if we can get a good look at it. Is that a Kritzkrieg I smell? That's got to be a Kritzkrieg. It's
smell it.
Yeah, it's fast. That's a Kritzkrieg. So.
That baby is flying.
Now,
it is
one
setup
of the
time, but that's flying even faster than setup time.
Right, and one of the cool things with the Kritzkrieg is you actually have enough time. Yep, I was just trying to see if you did it. You can set up a Kritzkrieg before the round starts and have enough time to charge another one basically right away. And then if he just loads up, he can fire them one by one and get 8 little crit detonations. So.
I think a lot of people, learned, not these little players, of course, but, through Man vs. Machine. I think a lot of people learned, hey, let's pop off a sticky first, and then we'll hit ready.
Right.
Do people still play Man vs. Machine?
I hear it. They did that, the new items or whatever, and apparently it's harder now, but I always thought it was kind of, maybe I'm just bad, but those last waves were kind of dickish sometimes.
Yeah, they are.
Spy there kind of forcing out the Uber pop. Alright, so you're forcing out the sticky pop, but now Blue Team does have the Uber. They did pop it, and...
Yep, Python ready to go again, but his big target goes down to a body shot.
Looks like Blue actually switched over to the Kritzkrieg as well, but he's probably going to switch right back, Scar that is. And this card has not...
Yeah, we've got Python on Pure ready to throw this crits down in a moment's notice. And here it comes out.
Yeah, it's
big
out.
old sticky on the heavy, but the heavy's so beefy he lives through the sticky. But they did end up killing Scar in that engagement, and wow, Blue took a wrong side of that crits.
Yeah, LA River now, full of dead bodies. Again, very true to life. I love the name. It's spot on.
Yeah.
It's like the 90s all over again. Right now, Blue Team is going to go ahead and pile onto this cart as the Sentry Gun actually still up. The Dispenser goes down. That is going to make it a little bit harder to save, but with this focus and the bonk, it's down.
Yeah, that's just such a great team. I love seeing teamwork take down sentry guns. It almost seems like a waste sometimes to use an Uber when you really don't have to. There's the sap and shoot, there's the bonk and shoot.
Spy making a move. And the medic says no. Steel Python getting the Uber saw out there, has the Kritzkrieg ready, and he's just going to give it back to Pure. Pure's going huge with it. Well, tries to, spams.
Oh, some giant crits pills.
Yeah.
I wonder if he
lots of damage, but not a lot of no one else is there to clean up. And Blue's going to take this point. But now they only have 6 minutes to the very
but they have a 100% advantage and Red's only 4 up, so they need to really be pushing forward, leave the kids behind. No kids behind, still trying to deal with spies. Okay, the kids are now behind, now they're in, still only 4 up for Red. They take down the sentry without any dispute.
Yep, it sounds like you're actually a little bit behind now, Hex, but right now we are watching the Red go ahead and push back into the cart area as while Blue took the sentry down, they kind of stopped pushing there again for the moment, so they really need to be a little bit more diligent about keeping people in the cart because they could have had this point by now, especially in these situations where every second counts. Yeah, right now we are at 6:05 on the game timer now, so if that helps sync it up at all.
I'm like 2 seconds behind if you want to feel like closing it.
Alright, let's go ahead and give it a technical 1-1000 to 1000, and we're back.
Aren't you from the South? Why wouldn't you say Mississippi? Because you hate Mississippi because you're Texas, right?
Saying the S's makes it sound kind of you know, sissified.
Does Texas even consider itself the South, or is Texas just its own country?
Yeah, but it's basically we've most of us already kind of considered seceding from the Union long ago. But yeah, good Uber there. Out of Red Team, but Blue Team is going to respond with a Kritzkrieg of their own. And they're going to take out a lot of Red players, so Blue is going to be able to push this cart. And, you know, it almost seems like in this situation you want to keep the medic alive because as long as that medic's not pushing an Uber out, that's going to be significantly easier on the defense to, you know, hold against Ubercharge. Hold against crit screen after crit screen, I guess. But that just seems like the map could be wrong. As right now, still Python has only about 20% Uber to Scar's 55. So if they can go ahead and keep the momentum up, actually, this crit screen will work out really well for them. But the problem is, crit screens don't help out much against sentry guns, you know?
No, unfortunately, crits do not do extra damage to buildings.
Ooh,
which
but
I've always found a little bit weird. But
kills do plenty of damage at long range to buildings, and
there's really no great spot to set up here, because you're just gonna get spammed from all these windows and all these vantage points.
Oh, looks like the crit screen, it has gone down.
As Soldier throws a rocket in, not much done with it though.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem with running crits. Scar does go down, so that is going to let him go back to the Uber charge. But this clock is ticking. There are just under 4 minutes left now in the round, and
like you mentioned in the intro, I don't know if it's the actual intro, but we talked about it for sure. There's a long, long track to go. This is a Mason-Dixon size rail line here. Spanning
several states and counties. Good teleporter positioning, though. Kind of gives blue team the option of which direction they want to push out. They can go right, they can go left. And either way, they end up in the Branch Davidian complex. And, might be able to push them, take some positioning through it now. They push a bonk out onto the cart, just kind of get some comms of what's going out there. But, ooh, Scar is down. Didn't see that happen. He was with his medic. Was it?
Yeah, Scar was with his medic. Scar is the medic.
Yeah, no, I said was it with the sniper rather, but I guess we'll never know. A bunch of schmucks not paying attention, and the Uber goes off. Not a lot to kill there. They actually kind of blue team had already backed out, but good job resetting the Ubers, and they're still going to maintain the advantage before blue team can get back up.
One thing I noticed about this game in its entirety just dawned on me, we haven't seen a super successful Uber or crits, really. There hasn't been one of those whoa moments where an Uber wipes a lot or a crits wipes a lot. And I think maybe you can, chalk it up to good spacing on each team. I don't want to chalk it up to bad DM skills, because that certainly can't be the case.
Yeah, no, and that's absolutely right. It's that when there's 9 players, it's hard to wipe more than 3 or 4 of them with an Uber, and that's kind of why teams go with the crits. Oh, but real quick, Sentry Gun goes down, and Blue is pushing the cart forward, so they're not done. Yeah, they're going to make a game of it, and I guess technically there might be enough time.
Fixer takes a stab on a soldier and stops that push in its tracks.
Yeah, that's definitely going to end it there, as the Pyro does shoo the last of them away.
Yeah, both teams down to 4 and 5 players.
Yep.
So it's all quiet on the front right now.
Red Heavy takes out the Pyro, causing the mech to retreat even further, and finally goes down a very, very long range.
Someone's pushing the cart up. Yeah, Demo's alone pushing the cart. He's staying on it. Go
got it.
Oh, man. Well done.
Yep, and
that's 8 ball. 8 ball. He'll sell you one and he'll be one.
But Gunners do have the Uber charge ready. They do go ahead and pop it in and do a pretty good job of getting a few kills, but right now, I gotta say, they really shouldn't be pushed this far forward, just in case. But at the same time, the cart hasn't moved at all. Pure has not let anyone get anywhere close to it, as they finally do get 3x on the cart.
They need to keep 3x on this cart pretty much all the way to the end. Like I said, there's a lot of track in front. Again, I'm not the greatest math guy, have no idea.
Clever C positioning there. Not like it's going to matter. He does drop a whole bunch on the cart. Gets a lot of attention on himself.
It's a minute left.
1 minute to go.
Dire straits here.
Yeah, it's bleak.
Blue's only 3 up, 2 up. Yeah.
Yeah, as they do have very quick spawns, but yeah, 45 seconds. It doesn't look like that's going to be enough time to do it.
I don't think it's even mathematically impossible. But hey, what do I know?
Math. You don't know crap about math. You're an English major.
Time again, I know very little about very much.
Whoa, got the zoom in cam as we did switch on a sniper. Yeah, right now only 2 players up for Blue. Lonely Pyro trying to push the cart.
It's just that sniper now. I think he
they popped the Uber. That's kind of sealing the deal for him, so.
Yeah, just that sniper hanging out in the yard, and he's gonna get picked off by the scouts. Embry, yo!
Yo, yo, yo! And yeah, Red having very dominant positioning here, keeping blue players off of the cart. Ooh, highball with the devil there. 3 hit points.
That's gonna be match, and man, Gunners look really good there.
Yeah,
no
that was...
disrespect to bRb, of course, you know, it's always hard, back and forth, Highlanders are always tough, but Gunrunners looked pretty in control of that from beginning to end.
Yeah, I gotta say, it was very much, there were a couple times, especially on the first pushes, where Gunrunners seemed like they stumbled and, you know, in the typical spots where you see chokes held up, but they did a really good job of kind of getting momentum, seizing it, and pushing it forward. So, right now, looks like, we have a special guest coming up. Seabass from Gangsta Gang Gaming. For those of you unfamiliar, Gangsta Gang Gaming used to be one of the top Highlander teams. In fact, for a long time, they were the #1 or #2 Highlander team, back and forth with looking. They traded off a bunch, and so they're not playing Highlander now, and we are going to try to get him in here for some, because we want to try to,
Can do a commercial beforehand, because I have an anecdote about Seabass. Alright,
yeah, let's see if we can go ahead and get a quick little 30 seconds, and we'll be right back, folks. With our good friend Seabass from Gangsta Gang Gaming. Okay, try to get him on the call.
So I don't need to be in this demo anymore, right?
No, you can do that. How do I?
Dude, if you're trying to ask me how to do anything on Skype, you're asking the wrong dude.
Oh, I'm in this call with you. Hey, Seabass?
Yeah, you just called me.
Nope, I did, yeah.
Oh, there's Kyle Finn.
Is he in the...
Hey, don't use my real name on the street. Goodness.
Sorry.
Oh,
sorry about that.
Golly gee.
Golly gee willikers.
Finnegan.
Yes, this is your good friend Seabass.
Alright, and we're here, and we're back, and we're live.
Good.
Good. So,
That's
yeah,
cool.
First, man, how's it going? Great to have you back here with us.
Oh, thank you. Life is good, and it's a pleasure to have an opportunity to talk on eXtv, and it truly is an honor. I'm very excited.
Awesome.
You know, in fact, I joked about this, and I told my father about this. Oh, I'm being interviewed for a video game, and he's like, I'm proud of you, son. So, this moment is the moment that my father became proud of me.
That's great. Well, we play hardball here, so we're going to open up with, I guess, the question burning on everyone's mind is, what the hell happened to Gangsta Gang Gaming, and why aren't you guys playing this season?
Long answer or short answer? Well, okay, I'm gonna give you a hybrid of the long and short answer.
All right.
We've been through it all already. I was gonna give you a synopsis of everything that we've done, but
right.
We've been through it all, so there's actually a lack of motivation to keep playing Highlander.
Mm-hmm.
We've rebuilt and we've climbed to the top. Season 5, you know, we won, and pretty convincingly.
Mm-hmm.
Season 6, we had a lot of fun. The tone changed. We were working less. We used to have a regimen of 3 scrims per week, and then that was reduced to 1 or 2 scrims a week. And even when we had those 1 or 2 scrims, it was great fun. If any of you watched one of Ump's streams, our demo man, you would hear us laughing and joking and being incredibly vulgar and not taking it seriously. So we had fun in Season 6. Then we tried to get serious by the playoffs, and by then it was too late. All of our team dynamics was off, and we just weren't the same team anymore. I don't want to take anything away from looking by any means. They were fantastic. So, yeah. This season. Oh.
Yeah, no, I guess it kind of takes us into. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Over the summer, I was away working at a summer camp for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I was disconnected from my team, so we didn't play the summer league. That may have contributed to it. Those that did play in the summer season were very disappointed with how it went. The map selection was very questionable. I'm surprised anyone really played the summer season. Take one look at those maps, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
but good, you know. Kudos to UGC for trying to experiment and to broaden the horizon. So whatever, it's good.
Hey, you think playing in the summer season was bad? We had to watch all those games.
Oh no.
Talk about them, yeah.
Right.
So yeah, what does the future hold for Gangsta Gang Gaming then? Is there any future? You guys now looking at the new meta scene and the way it's kind of developing, and have any aspirations for getting back into it?
All friends. We play pickup games with each other in sixes and Highlander. We'll stay in contact. If Mela is my co-leader. He does a lot of in-game coaching and calling. I'm more of the like a kind of recruitment guy. I manage the team's morale and communication and coaching. Really is my specialty. If I'm available, and if Mela is also available and has time and the will and the motivation, we will get a team together again and play for Season 9. But that's yet to be seen. So.
Gotcha.
So let me share my anecdote and lead into this next question. In one of the videos that we covered with you last year, I said, wow, Seabass dies a lot. And it went onto YouTube, and you put me in check in the YouTube comments. You're like, actually, I die the least of most of the Highlander medics. So what advice would you give to other aspiring Highlander medics?
Well, I think maybe you had that perception because when I did die, it was pretty big and important, and I probably did something incredibly stupid. Advice to other Highlander medics. Well, I did jot a little bit of a list here. First of all, don't get discouraged. Stay patient. I call medic a very little reward but high risk class, and what I mean by that is, you can be having a fantastic game, you're doing everything right, but if you do one little thing wrong, you have one little brain fart, and you actually are human for a fraction of a second, then everyone will see that, and everyone's assessment of how you did that game will be negative. You know, I'm saying you drop one Uber, you have to do one early pop, so again, you need to stay, don't get discouraged and stay patient. Accept your mistakes. Actually, this goes for all classes, just in a team dynamic. As a team leader, I loved it when players would say, oh, yep, that was my mistake, I'm going to fix that, and here's how, and I'm going to show you, and they really own it. Another thing is, big thing for medic is communication. You need to be able to communicate your Uber charge percentage, but also what the enemy's team Uber charge percentage is, as much as you can at all times. You need to know how much advantage you have, and that will dictate when you push, when you hold back, basically everything, your positioning. You also need to know who's up for both teams and where they are. That also contributes to your positioning, whether you're overextending. I see most Highlander teams, most Highlander combos when they're first learning, is they're always overextended. You know, I have Uber, but half my team's dead, and I'm sitting on the point still, and of course you're going to die as soon as it fades. That's quite foolish. Another fundamental thing that I learned from Counter-Strike was use your sense of sound. You need to, if there's a spy behind you, you need to be able to hear the footsteps. That needs to be your indicator, not someone screaming spy. The actual noise of the stab needs to be what makes you turn around, and the scream of the dead body. That's another reason why I hate the spycicle. They took that away, and that's kind of BS. Again, about spy, keep checking your back, and keep basically your head on a swivel. A lot of times I'm reviewing medic demos, I feel like a horse with blinders, I can't see everything. That's because they're not moving their head around, their aim around as much as me. So to help that, have a lighter or higher mouse sensitivity, just a little bit higher than normal, so you can really assess your situation and see everything. And again, also communicate with your heavy or whoever is pocketing you. One thing I did with Mela, my longtime heavy pocket, was we got to a point where we were thinking out loud with each other. If he, for example, he would be peeked around a corner, and he's fighting an enemy team. I can't see what he's doing, and if I'm a good medic, I shouldn't be able to see what he's doing. I should be in cover. I would, every time, no matter how many, I played with him for 2 years, and to this day, I still say, hey Mela, I don't see what you see, you know, talk to me. And that's just a reminder for him to say, to open his brain.
You're like, say pop Uber, there's 5 guys there, stuff you might need to know, you're about to get jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if I'm leaving him, I say, hey, I'm not with you, I'm leaving you. Or, hey, I'm looking for you, where are you?
How romantic.
Yeah, we did have a bit of a bromance, so
yeah.
Stay communicating with all your classes. And again, if your heavy's dead and you're relying on someone else for protection, for that moment, you would then also communicate and think out loud with that person instead.
So write all that down, Silver Leaguers. Write it down.
Know the scenario, don't overextend. I already said that. Oh, big thing. My expertise is just basic team communication and coaching, team dynamics. That's basically how a team communicates and how they work together. One thing I've noticed recently, and I've seen this, and this goes for Sixes and Highlander, stay very positive, but don't be a positivity, I don't want to be offensive here, don't be a positivity Nazi. I've seen people that, yeah, that's great that they want everyone to stay positive and stay upbeat and motivated, but then when someone's negative, they start swearing and cussing, and that's counterproductive. And I see a lot of that.
Awesome. So, what are your thoughts on the removal of the invite player restriction here on the UGC League? As you know, they've lifted it completely.
Players on my team and I have been advocating for that invite player restriction to be removed since we started picking up invite players in Season 5. Mostly at first we wanted it removed because we wanted backups that were invite players. We weren't necessarily going to play 3 invite level players. And that is a good transition to another point I want to make. I knew from the start that a team of invite level players is not going to be the best Highlander team. you know, if I wanted to, I could have a team of invite level players, but I know someone like Comatose, who's, I don't even think, maybe he's played in Europe, Div 2 and IM. Maybe, I don't know, maybe never got it. He may have never gotten out of Open, but he, like, the only Highlander soldier that I've seen match Comatose's Highlander play is Valen. Some people just know Highlander, and having invite level players is not always the best option.
Well, what do you think about the counter argument, and just play devil's advocate, that it's invite level is such a kind of small circle, and that the rich would just get richer and the poor would get poorer, that the gap would largen when you remove those restrictions?
The skill gap, we would see teams dominate, like, kind of like what UGC had with classic mix-up playing. Well, I don't. That's a good argument, but my argument to that is, well, look how this season's turned out. The two invite stack teams are not two teams at all.
Right.
So I guess that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Now, what do you think about them removing the Vitasol this season? How do you think it's really going to affect things and play out?
No brainer. I can't imagine any.
He's dealing with this, dog. I'm listening. We're all still here.
What it does is it makes the metagame of Highlander more congruent with 6v6, which helps. There's less alienation now between 6s and Highlander, just a little bit less. Yeah. And it just puts everyone on the same field. Like, you know now, you don't have to question, oh, is he running Vitasol? What's their charge at? It's just
right.
It's a
so if the other team's running Vitasol, you have to pretty much run Vitasol, and it gets muddled. I agree.
And Vitassol's fun. Gosh, come on.
Now, it sounds like you've been kind of keeping up with the season a little bit. So, who's your early favorite to win?
My early favorite to win when the season started was the Syndicate and Bonus, but also I was questioning MTS. I believe, if I have this right, Marissa is on that team. I thought Marissa would lead that team, with maybe I shouldn't talk down about it. I thought, okay, I saw Marissa, that's a very experienced Highlander person. They're going to make a team with invite players that actually know Highlander. But I guess Bonus just knows Highlander a little bit better, so I was a little disappointed with MTS. So originally, MTS was one of my favorites. But I always had the Syndicate, MTS, and Bonus on my top three. Now it's definitely the Syndicate and Bonus, with quite a bit of a gap between second and third there.
Okay, so I mean, if you were forced to pick one, or you can actually handle this question for both. How would you go about beating either of those teams?
Okay, the Syndicate, I think they are my favorite to win this season, mostly because I've seen how they play Koth, King of the Hill. They just overpower you. If it's not, I mean, if you're a team and you're handling their main power classes, like their Demo Man and Scout, and their combo, and you're dealing with them just fine, well, they have a sniper and a spy that's going to kill you. They're ridiculous at it. So it can be very frustrating to play them in King of the Hill. It's very hard to out-strategize them, because even if you're doing everything right, one of their little accessory classes are going to get you, or pick. I've heard people call them pick classes. So someone's bound to pull through for them on King of the Hill. However, I think they're very weak on 5CP. Either they may just be lack of experience, or I don't want to state, to be politically correct, I don't want to state their weak classes, but I think there are some holes, and a lot of that may just be my own personal preference of how I run Highlander. They may be the best, and I'm just foolish. So the Syndicate should be pretty daunting, and probably won't lose on Koth, and they probably won't lose on. Well, I think Bonus could out-strategize them on payload. But I think they are weak on 5CP. And I think so. So again, I'm going to say the Syndicate's my favorite to win it all, but I don't think they're untouchable.
Now, in your opinion, I guess, and this is kind of, to close off, who was the most frustrating player to play against whenever you were playing in Highlander?
Okay.
The single most, just wanted to throw your computer.
I love this question, because I've been saying this for like a year now. Okay, for everyone listening, I know there's a lot of people out there that like stabby, or hot hey, or hot H.
Hey!
H-E-I.
Yeah, he's a personal favorite of this particular production.
Stabby doesn't even come. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I got it politically correct. High is the best. Because he's so intelligent. He's just so intelligent, and he doesn't need Dead Ringer. So.
I love that my opinions are validated by Seabass. It feels good.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Seabass, for coming out and joining us for this. We really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure, and I thank you for boosting my ego, making me feel better about myself.
Awesome, and we really hope to see you guys in Season 9, because we were rooting for you big time.
Yeah, the return to the real GG.
Oh, wouldn't that be great to just...
Have a GG versus GG show match for the real... Who gets the acronym?
Gets it.
All right, folks. Well, as always, thanks again for joining us. I'm Michael ++.
Hexagrams.
And I'm Seabass.
Have a great evening.